The Great Depression is one of the worst economic recessions a country has ever experienced. It lasted from 1929 to 1939. The reason for it is only speculated, but most believe it came about after Wall Street was sent into a panic and millions of investors pulled out of the stock market. Even though the Great Depression limited the amount of money people had, popular culture was still flourishing. Many different types of music were heard, including jazz,
You can take the moon, gather up the stars and
blues, and folk music. Popular comedy played on radios 24/7, with Bob Hope being one of the most prevalent radio humorists. Radios also played music, soap operas, news, and political content. Never before had this been possible. With the new invention of sound and film, Hollywood productions prospered, with many people going to the movies to get some quick entertainment. Despite the Great Depression's devastating impact, many influential trends were observed. Of Mice and Men is set at this time. The Depression leads to the nomadic nature of many of the farmhands in the story. George and Lenny are a part of this constantly moving group. They migrate to and from various parts of California, with no family holding them down. Like many people, they dream of ending this lifestyle, constantly bringing up the fact that one day they could own their own ranch. To accomplish this goal, they need a ton of money, but because of the Great Depression, they are stuck in a circle of poverty. Even though they had a dream, the economics of the time blocked them from achieving it.
Their lives were very similar to the lives of actual migrant farmers during the Great Depression. Bird Monford Morgan was a teenager when the Great Depression started. He was forced to move to California with his family to become a rancher when they no longer could afford to keep their farm. They first stopped in the city of Clovis. His father found them a job at a dairy farm, and they stayed there and worked for about a year. His father worked in the fields and with the animals and made about $40 a month. Like Lenny and George, Bird's family wanted to buy their own farm, but they didn't have enough money. For the next few years, they moved from ranch to ranch, working and slowly saving their money until they finally had enough to lease their own farmland. The Great Depression caused a lot of panic among American people. Not only did many people lose their jobs, they also lost their dreams for the future.